Well, the teams are in for the Essendon versus West Coast Eagles match from Optus Stadium in Perth, 6:10 tomorrow. Good Friday football from Perth. Earlier than that, in course in Perth, day game in Perth. Peter Wright, 2 metre Peter, is back for the injured Nick Bryan, who of course unfortunately has done his ACL. For the West Coast Eagles, they've made 4 changes. Elijah Hewitt comes in, Tim Kelly, Matt Flynn and Jeremy McGovern. Bailey Williams has been omitted. Oscar Allen has been managed. Clay Hall has been admitted, and Sandy Brock. Interesting, they omitted Bailey Williams, who was their ruckman. They're going with Matt Flynn as their ruckman. We have, well, kind of 2 ruckmen. I'm not sure what the plans will be for Wright. I have a feeling he's probably going to play forward, but it might be a little bit of a mixture between him and Draper, as it usually is or was between Draper and Nick Bryan. West Coast team, you have to say it's strengthened. They've got Kelly and McGovern both coming into the side. Kelly, of course, was dropped last week due to form issues, and when that happens, the player's pride is affected. You would expect that Tim Kelly would be fired up to put in a better performance, so I would expect a big game from him. Jeremy McGovern, obviously getting on a bit in age, but one of the best defenders in the competition, has been for a long time. So their team has been strengthened, and we can't underestimate them. They're at home, and they will pull out a good performance at home at some point during the year. We just hope it's not this week, and if they do pull out a good performance, we have to be ready for it. So just looking at the teams, the forward line for Essendon, Isaac Kako, Peter Wright and Harrison Jones. Half forward line, Nick Martin, Nate Caddy and Jake Gresham. Centre line, Archie Roberts, the rising star for the week. Congratulations to him. Dylan Shield and Xavier Dersmer on the wing. The halfbacks, Jackson Pryor, the improving Zach Reid, who has come off 2 good games in a row now, and Mason Redman. And the full back line, Jordan Ridley, Ben Mackay and Andrew McGrath. The interchange, Hobbs, Setterfield, Perkins, Menzies and El Huali. So one of those will be the sub. I hope it's not El Huali again. He's had 2 games in a row as a sub. I know he was kind of lucky, well, from his point of view, kind of lucky to be able to come on in the first quarter last week. So I hope it's not him as the sub. But just looking at it, Menzies had a good game last week. You wouldn't think they'd make Menzies the sub after kicking 4 goals. And there's Perkins, Setterfield and Hobbs. Maybe Hobbs. Not sure how they'll go. Brad Scott doesn't seem to make too many changes, so he'll probably go with El Huali again. But I'd like to see him get a full game. I just think that would be a good thing to do for him to get the full 80 minutes in. The emergencies are Sartis, Goldstein, and Archer Day Wicks. Interesting that Sartis is the first emergency. Obviously, that means he is not injured. Obviously, it means that he's over his broken hand. Otherwise, he wouldn't be named emergency. First emergency is always important because there's always a fairly high likelihood or reasonable chance that someone comes out of the team and is replaced. I would have personally liked to see them go with a bit more of a smaller lineup, given that I think we can handle the ruck situation from West Coast. That's really their weakness. I mean, they've dropped their ruckman, really, and they've gone with Matt Flynn, and Matt Flynn is, he's no Max Gawn, let's face it. So I don't think we really needed to go with the 2 big guys. But anyway, look, it's a good opportunity for Peter Wright. Peter Wright has got the 3 goals last week in the reserves against Hawthorn. He has been a little bit unlucky with injury this year, and just events have transpired to give him a bit of a chance. Obviously, with Nick Bryan going out, that opens up the door for him. Obviously, with Kyle Langford out of the team, that opens up the door for him. And obviously, with Tom Edwards doing an ACL, it opens up the door for Peter Wright. So, with some unlucky injuries to a couple of players, it does open up the opportunity for Peter Wright to be able to prove himself. He might not have got an opportunity, let's face it, had any one of those players been available. But they're all out and he's in the team. And look, he is a big target for us down there, let's face it. Whilst we have been critical of him not being able to clunk marks, and he does struggle with that from time to time, the reality is he is a big target. We haven't really had a big target down there this year. I mean, I suppose you could argue Draper, but Draper, of course, has been really with the playing a dual role. We haven't really had sort of that permanent big target down there. So this is a chance against, a weaker team for Peter Wright to prove himself. And the thing about Peter Wright as well, he's a confidence player. And if you bring him back against one of the better teams, it's no worse way to put a dint in your confidence. This is a potential opportunity for him to get a big boost in confidence, and with confidence comes better play. And Peter Wright, this might just be the best thing for him. We'll see. I would have liked to see them go with a smaller lineup, but I'm not the coach. What do you guys think anyway? Leave a message in the comments, let me know. Click a like for this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, have a great day and go Bombers.